Phil Wagstaff, we have skilled fund managers and we charge accordingly. Exotic bread recipes are not necessarily the first thing you would expect to crop up in a chat with Phil Wagstaff, yet here we are, on the subject of sourdough with cranberries, not in terms of proportions, cooking times and temperatures, it should be added, but as a way of illustrating what Jupiter's global head of distribution views as the principal, though by no means sole, challenge now facing the asset management sector. The industry is under pressure, says Wagstaff, who has held senior distribution roles at M&G, New Star, Gartmore and most recently Janus Henderson, where he worked closely with Chief Executive Andrew Formica, a partnership now resumed since he joined Jupiter last May. There are issues relating to macroeconomics, to the threat of recession, to trust and to value for money, but the main one, I believe, is price. Stepping back briefly, and not for the only time in the conversation, Wagstaff stresses the importance of managing expectations. If intermediaries, clients and asset managers cannot all work together, we are in trouble, he says. We cannot build things intermediaries and clients don't want. Intermediaries cannot ask us to build things clients don't want. And clients can't ask for things that are unrealistic or impossible for us to build. Somehow, we must reach a point where we aim to design products that work for everyone, and in the context of price, there is an overall number a particular client will pay. Maybe it's 1.25% or 1.5% or 2%, but everything must fit into that, and there's the rub for active managers. Let's say the cap is 1.5% with an advice element of 0.75%. That means, with other expenses, you have to hit 0.65% for investment management. The point that can be missed here, suggests Wagstaff, is that 0.65% figure relates to the overall construction of the portfolio, not each element within it. So you could have, say, elements of passive at 10 basis points, BPS, bonds at 30 bits per second, active bonds at 50 bits per second and active equities at 75 bits per second, and asset managers then have to ask themselves where, as businesses, they want to play. We have the goods and we charge accordingly for Jupiter. The answer to that question is active bonds and active equities, which leads Wagstaff onto the subject of bread. Of course people will want white sliced loaves, but there are also people who want sourdough with cranberries, and that is what we are catering for here, he says. We have skilled fund managers delivering bespoke, high conviction, high alpha portfolios with limited capacity, and we are charging accordingly. In doing so, we recognize we are not going to supply every aspect of a client portfolio, but we do not have to conquer the world. We don't have to sell millions of loaves a day, just a small number at the right price. So if passive is pilot H. For more on this story, visit the news article link.